I totally agree in the idea of partnering up with a multinational if you can and riding on the coattails of that. I guess if you play in that game, you've got to play by their rules, and I guess those rules can potentially change halfway through, and that's just part of the game.
I guess the first rule of thumb is don't be naive. I mean, these are multinational companies with shareholders trying to make a return, so they're only interested in you if you can help them make a return, and likewise, you should only be interested in partnering with them if you can make a good return out of that. And so that really requires a company that's smaller like us to be very clear about what our objectives are, what we're prepared to trade off, and I guess what the trade-offs are in terms of dealing with large multinationals that bring that channel to market.
End of 2000, we signed up the very biggest telephony reseller in the US, and they branded our product. They told us they were going to sell 7 million the first year and 14 the second. They wanted a first right of refusal over the company. We thought we died and gone to heaven. And then they did 1 million and 4 million in the first 2 years, wildly underwhelmed us in terms of with their results. So I don't ever get excited anymore about big channels because it's only what you can get out of them, which is why we've invested so much in more channel resource recently.
In their spectrum of products, is yours going to complement their other range of offerings? Because if so, fantastic. You wouldn't want to end up with an exclusive with someone who was promoting 2 or 3 products in the same space, yours being only one of them, unless you were sure they were going to put the resources behind it.
We're engaged at the moment with NZTE on the Path to Market program with Australia. So while we're directly pursuing things through the existing client we've got, we're not arrogant that we can't learn something from talking to other people who've been there, who are there, and we'd like to be looking at opportunities we can bring our ecosystem partners to bear as well.
The leaders of those multinationals in this country are accessible. And generally they're people that have spent time in this country for some time or are visiting and really understand that we're 4 and a bit million people trying to sort of make our way in the world.
We have our own channel management sales force that actively, very actively interacts with the channels, because we want to stay on top of what they're doing, what they're saying, how they're selling it, because if you just let them go, frankly, nothing will happen.
You have to be very clear about what value you're bringing to the relationship, and that means being realistic about the pricing you can expect, or the role you're likely to play in that relationship, and not being, I guess, opportunistic or over-ambitious about the attention that they might pay to you. The reality is dealing with larger companies that are multinationals in this space is hard work, and that can be done, but you just need to understand that they have an agenda that they're running as well, or a business to run.
To me, it depends on the type of product. So if you have shrink wrap type of products that don't need a lot of hand holding to implement, then I think that should be a fantastic model. But if the product requires a lot of implementation and hand holding when it's installed, then you have to involve some sort of an intermediary in that process.
The reality is we need the HPs, the IBMs and the Microsofts of the world. They're giving us technology that we can apply in different ways. They're creating channels to market. And I mean, generally the operators in this market understand that the way we do business here and do their very best to collaborate as best they can within their, I guess, multinational frameworks.
Well, you've got to be an expert in what you do. You've got to give them something they can't do for themselves, or that it's not worthwhile them doing for themselves.
If you are the smaller player, remember you are small, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be brave and act big in that sort of relationship.